Arya was a happy girl. She lived in a small village and loved to read. Her favorite books were about magic, and she loved stories of adventure. Arya dreamed of a world full of wonder. She spent hours in the village library reading every book about fairies and dragons. The library was her favorite place, and she wished she could have her own library one day. One day, Arya found a new book. It was about a hidden library in the Whispering Woods. Arya was excited. Could the book be true? She decided to find out. Arya set off for the woods, which were dark and mysterious. Arya wasn't scared. She was excited to find the hidden library. She walked for a long time and finally saw something through the trees. It looked like a small cottage. The cottage was small and cozy, with a thatched roof and vines covering the walls. Arya peeked through the window and saw bookshelves lining the walls. She had found it, the hidden library. Arya tried the doorknob, which turned easily, and the door creaked open. She stepped inside, and the air smelled old and musty, but it was a wonderful smell, the smell of thousands of stories. Arya ran her fingers along the spines of the books. They were bound in leather, and some were even older. She saw books with silver clasps that looked magical. Arya wanted to read them all. One book caught her eye. It was on a pedestal in the center of the room with a cover of shimmering gold. Arya reached out and touched it. A jolt of energy ran up her arm and the room began to spin. Arya closed her eyes. When Arya opened her eyes, she was in a new world. The library was gone, and she stood in a lush forest where giant flowers bloomed in every color imaginable. Strange birds sang in the trees. Arya saw a little creature peeking out from behind a tree. It had big ears and a fluffy tail. It was a flit, a creature of pure magic. The flit beckoned Arya to follow it, and filled with wonder, Arya followed. The flit led Arya through the forest, and they came to a clearing. In the center was a village, but this village was different. The houses were built into the trees, with sparkling waterfalls cascading around them. The flit led Arya into the village, and Arya had never seen anything like it. Creatures of all shapes and sizes bustled about. There were fairies with shimmering wings and talking animals. Arya was in awe. Arya learned that this world was in danger. A shadow had fallen upon the land. The magic was fading, and the creatures were losing their powers. Only a special treasure could save them. An old wise owl told Arya about the treasure. It was called the Sunstone. The Sunstone was a source of pure magic. It could restore the land to its former glory. But it was hidden long ago. The owl gave Arya a map. The map showed the way to the Sunstone, but the journey would be dangerous. Arya would need to be brave. She would need to be strong. Arya knew she had to help. She had found this magical world. She couldn't let it fade away. Arya set out on a quest to find the Sunstone. She was determined to save her new friends. Arya's journey was long and perilous. She crossed rivers of fire. She climbed mountains that touched the clouds. She faced many dangers along the way, but Arya never gave up. She was brave and resourceful. She used her wits to outsmart her enemies. She made new friends along the way. They helped her overcome each obstacle. Through it all, Arya learned the true meaning of friendship. She learned that courage wasn't the absence of fear. It was facing your fears with your friends by your side. Arya realized that even a girl from a small village could be a hero. Finally, Arya reached the Sunstone's hiding place. It was guarded by a fearsome dragon. But Arya had faced so much already, she would not be deterred. She stood tall and faced the dragon. Arya used her courage and kindness to reason with the dragon. She learned that the dragon was only guarding the Sunstone to protect it. Arya promised to use the Sunstone's magic wisely. The dragon, convinced by Arya's sincerity, allowed her to take the Sunstone. Arya returned to the village with the Sunstone. The land was healed, the magic returned, the creatures rejoiced. Arya was a hero. She had saved them all, but Arya knew it was time to go home. She said goodbye to her friends and touched the Sunstone. She closed her eyes and wished to return to the library. When she opened her eyes, she was back in the hidden library. Arya returned to her village a changed girl. She knew that magic existed. She knew that anyone could be a hero, even a girl who loved to read. And she knew that the greatest adventures were found not just in books, but in the courage within our own hearts.